We're live! As I write out all the rest of this in my YouTube live stream info stuff.
Welcome. We've got
6, 7.
7 articles.
I can count.
Starting off with 2 articles about the Google Play Store.
Right?
Hopefully they're not too duplicated. Then we've got
they might be actually. Another
an article
about
yeah. I was wondering if you'd see that. Then we've got an article about why a dedicated Zoom device makes sense, which we've talked about this for a little bit, and we kind of don't see the reason to have a dedicated Zoom device. So I thought it'd be interesting to check out this article from over at Tech Explorer. We've got the new Minecraft mob, which will be voted for in a few days, I think.
I actually started playing Minecraft again yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't really played much Minecraft recently, but
It's still a lot of fun.
I will. Yeah. We've got, speaking of games, the OG Farmville is shutting down at the end of 2020.
There's good news in 2020.
Rip. We've got an article about which cloud gaming service is right for you. Again, we've talked about this a little bit. We're not really the demographic for cloud gaming.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be interesting to check out this article. And then finally, monitor your house with drones while you're away. A new device from Amazon.
That sounds like a terrible idea. I have many complaints about it. Being a professional drone flyer myself and all.
Yeah. These ones fly themselves, though, in theory, so.
That's a good thing. I found another interesting topic because nothing like scrolling down news.google.com. Google Maps is getting a new UI design for driving.
Yes.
Finally, because it kind of almost kills me a lot. I'm just gonna stick that.
It's one thing in a car. It's another on a
motorcycle, right? Sweet. Look at that, 8 whole topics. Not really though, because these first 2 topics
are the same.
Except yours is way more in depth about a lot more things. And mine's from the New York Post.
Yeah.
No, we can just skip mine really, because it's a 2-paragraph article over here. I don't know, it sums it all up pretty well.
Yeah, this article is coming from VentureBeat, and if you've been following the whole Epic Games, Fortnite on the Apple Store and Android Store thing, you'll probably be familiar with what we're talking about. But now Google announced that it will make it... Oh, well, this is 2 kind of different things, I guess. One of the items is that Google is going to make it a little bit easier to install third-party app stores onto an Android device.
That's
rather than just having the Google Play Store. Maybe you can install the Amazon Fire Store or whatever they have. And then the second point is that Google is going to, I guess, be stricter on their policy for making apps use the Google's billing system.
Yes. Yeah. Because so like Spotify and Netflix are 2 that was listed in my article, which is like the second thingy in the description. Mm-hmm. Because instead of users signing up and paying through their Android device, they go on a computer, which they most likely did, and set it all up. And so it's auto billing through just a credit card, like a utility bill or something would.
And the advantage of that for the company is that the Google Play Store doesn't take a cut.
Yes.
So if you buy your Spotify subscription from the Spotify website, you pay Spotify $5 a month, and they get $5 a month, minus the credit card fees, but they get $5 a month. Whereas if you pay for this subscription through the Google Play Store, Google takes like a 30% cut. Yeah. So Spotify gets like what, $3.50 or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did a little Google search because I'm a Google professional. And I found a list A list of the 10 best third-party app stores for Android and other options too.
Okay, cool.
This is over on Android Authority. I'll throw it in the doc as like number 3.
Sweet.
There it is. So first one, you were exactly right. For third-party app stores, Amazon App Store. So the App Store itself is free, but you may have to pay for the apps, which made me think there might be app stores that you have to pay for the store and then get the apps, which would be like a...
So, kind of like if Steam were a paid service.
Yeah.
You download Steam and get your games through Steam, but you would have to pay for the
But then
service. Okay.
It works kind of like cloud gaming, I would guess, because you pay for the service of cloud gaming, but then you get to play the games. That's like how I understand Google Stadia is. But yeah.
Yes.
Then there's called APK Mirror, and I feel like they're going to get a lot more arbitrary named as we go down.
Well, APK, when you make an Android app, the file extension is .apk, so that's why it's called APK Mirror.
Followed by APK Pure.
Yeah.
We're about to get a lot of these APKs, I feel.
Right.
APK Updater. So far, I've recognized one of these.
Yeah.
Oh. You want to pronounce
Aptoid.
Aptoid? Hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool name, I guess. F-Droid. I feel like I've heard of F-Droid, or maybe the website or something.
Okay. I've never heard
But
of it.
honestly, I've never used it.
We got the Google Play Store, which I don't feel like is a variant third-party app store, but I guess.
If you look at the URL for the website, androidauthority.com/best-app-stores.
Oh, okay.
Not best third-party app stores. Although the title of the article says best third-party app stores.
Right. Then there's Quo app, however you want to pronounce that one.
So that's for, it looks like Asian games from Asian developers, the description
Okay,
says.
just foreign, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Samsung Galaxy apps. I actually have this one on my phone because it comes default with Samsung Galaxy devices. Mostly it's just wallpapers and like themes, so it's mostly skinning.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yelp Store. It's an odd name. I think that might be it. And then there's a bunch of honorary mentions.
Which
I actually recognize one of those. XDA developers.
Yeah. Yeah, recognize they're from their website.
Otherwise, I've never heard of any other ones except for number 1 over here.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are third-party app stores. You don't have to use the whatever they call it now, Android Market, Google Play, whatever they decide to call it.
Yeah. We've got an article about why a dedicated Zoom device could make sense.
It can make a lot of sense for a lot of people, and I kind of agree that some people would be better off just getting a dedicated Zoom device. Us, on the other hand.
Yeah. For people who are less technically inclined, who may not be able to set up Zoom on their computer, it can make sense for them. I definitely think for businesses, for a conference room, it would be nice to just have a device there ready to go just whenever you need to hop on a conference call. But let's see what this article...
Okay, so I got a question before we even get to the article then. So you say for a conference room for conference calls, would you rather everybody that goes into the conference room meeting have their own individual cam and microphone or headset setup? Or would you prefer the setup where there's one microphone and there could be either one camera off in the distance, or there can be just be a 360 cam in the middle, or 6 cameras in the middle? What would you think the ideal for a conference video call?
It could depend. I think that if someone in the room is presenting, it makes sense for them to have their separate camera, their separate laptop connected to the Zoom call. But if the room is mainly watching someone else present, then it would be more convenient to have one device set up with a projector or something, so you can see everyone can see the screen, and then just having a single camera looking at everyone in the room. I think a 360 camera is cool, but
So have you
then
seen Tom
everyone else has
Scott?
to look around and
Yeah. That because Tom Scott uses that in some of his videos. Is he would have him and 3 friends play like these games. Usually they're like mind games or something, and he sets a
yes.
360 camera in the center, and then he just goes in post processing and just picks what angle to snap to. And so like sometimes he'll
Yes.
use like a hand cam or his phone cam to show something in particular to edit in, and you can just
Mhm.
see that there's 4 microphones, can't count, and then the
Yeah.
one camera.
Yes, the thing with that is that he's going in and manually picking out the
Yeah.
shots, like picking the direction of the camera. Whereas if you're on a live Zoom call,
That's very true.
that would be difficult for each individual viewer
Yeah.
to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So, who does dedicated Zoom devices make sense for?
Actually, this article is not as good as I thought.
Boo article. So I think it's really good for people that don't have super high end computers, or simply just don't know how to work their computer. Because like a lot of the customers I get in that are having Zoom problems have the little $150 laptops from Walmart, and they just hit big box store, and they don't work right, and it's just not good enough to run Zoom and Google Chrome at the same time or something like that.
Yeah, this article is actually kind of saying why a dedicated Zoom device doesn't make that much sense. They clickbaited me.
So it doesn't make sense for everyone who knows how to use a computer and has enough money to spend on a nice computer.
Yeah.
That's kind of like arguing that most people don't need pickup trucks. Like, the majority of people don't actually need a pickup truck, but
it would often go ahead.
Oh, but like some people do, and then other people who don't necessarily need it but know how to like use it to its full advantage when they do need it.
Yeah.
It's the same with computers, I think.
For a lot of people, it could really make more sense to have a daily driver car and just even rent a pickup truck when you actually need to move something. Yeah. This article does bring up another good reason for getting a dedicated Zoom device, especially if you don't have a double monitor setup. For those of you who are taking meetings all day, the same issue applies. Isn't it hard to take notes when your laptop screen is filled with speaker video windows? And plus, this way you wouldn't have to worry about webcam placement. So, for example, if your webcam's stuck on your laptop, you can't really move it around much. But if it's on a dedicated device, you could set it up so you don't look as fish-eyed or whatever.
Right, like, ta-da!
Yeah. So, yeah, that's another good reason. But if you do have a more powerful computer and you have 2 monitors or something, that's not really
Yeah, so I was about to say, like, I use 3 monitors for this weekly stream, and I don't know if I could do it with 2, and there's no way I could do it with 1. There's not a chance.
Yeah.
Unless it's the 1 4K screen, because that's
basically 4.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I could make that work. What? But no, I think having a separate device for your Zoom calls makes sense for a lot of people.
In certain situations, yeah.
And the one interesting thing you said was for, like, most people don't need a truck, and when they do need it, they could just rent one. Was, I wonder if it would be a way for libraries to really make a comeback, where they could have more sectioned off spaces so people could come do their conference meeting or something and then leave. Because all you need is 2 screens, a webcam, and a mic. So you have 1 screen for your call, 1 screen for research, and then...
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great way for libraries to hit a huge comeback.
Yeah, for libraries to stay relevant.
Yeah. That's a nice way to put it.
That's kind of mean, actually. Gotta stay relevant, libraries. Have you been following the whole Minecraft new mob?
No. So I saw a picture of this morning when I woke up of the 3 faces, and then I continued onto YouTube and my life.
Okay, yeah.
I did not look into it at all.
It's pretty much reskins of existing mobs.
Okay.
So
Oh.
there's the glow
Okay.
squid, the ice logger, which I don't know what it is, and then the moo bloom, which you can assume is a cow with flowers or something, kind of like the mushroom.
All right. So my guesses for the 3 was this was going to be like a different kind of slime because they have just like the green slime that bounce everywhere. So I thought this might be a different type of slime, but clearly wrong. And then this Iceman, I figure was going to live in the igloos instead of having like a villager or something. They're going to have like a dedicated like Neanderthal type style. That way there's like separation. It's not like, offending to humans that live in igloos. And then this glowy cow thing, I thought was going to be like a honey cow because they introduced the bees and the honey blocks and all the honey stuff. And so I thought it was going to be for honey because they have the normal cows and then they have the mushroom cows. And I figured they would do like honey cows.
Well, this article actually does say that for the moo, what was it called? The moo bloom, the bees can interact with it in some way.
Okay. So I guess it would have, it would have flowers like you say or something.
Yeah, and then the ice logger is a hostile illager mob that resides in the upcoming snowy mountain biomes.
Ooh.
And they will throw clouds of ice.
Wow. Clouds of ice. That sounds kind of...
yeah, kind of strange.
Isn't that just called ice? Like, because the cloud's just like, what, over-oxygenated water? That's... I sound...
Water-nated air.
Air, right?
Yeah.
And so an ice cloud would just be ice. Okay, whatever.
Well, a cloud is water, right?
Yeah.
Not ice.
But yeah, but if you froze the cloud cold enough to make it into ice, it would just drop, which is how you get like snow and hail. Like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Yes. Do I look like a weatherman?
I wonder if they'll eventually add all of these, or if.
Part of me's curious if this is to help direct what they should focus on for their next big update. So like they did the aquatic update with a bunch of water and stuff, and then they did their nether update just now with all the nether stuff.
Yeah.
And then I guess they're trying to figure out
which direction.
Yeah. Which way to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I would love a better cave update where the caves are just or like a landscape update to have new lands. So the new map I started, this is getting off topic. The new map I started, me and my brother playing it, and we spawned in a village. Like that was the spawn point, was in a village. We just picked a random like seed, like it just picked one, and then on the edge of the village connects another village and another biome, so it's like a double-sized village, and the place is amazing. So like the landscape around it's like awesome looking, and then we're like in the middle of like 5 biomes meeting up, and so like we have like all the blocks right off the bat. It's a pretty great map.
And then 2 villages with different building styles too.
Yeah. So now the villages in different biomes have different like building style looks. So it's really neat to have like a lot of different like build look. It's not all the same house anymore, which is nice. But yeah, I would like to see like a landscape update, a tree update. Can we do a tree update? They just make better trees. Speaking of updating, I guess this video continuously gets updated every week with new tech news.
I was wondering where that was going.
Made possible by the life part, nepnewtech.com, and then pretty much all the news the last 3 weeks or so.
GMR Media.
The guy that can get here on time. Oh, we did it.
Yay!
You know who didn't do it though?
They did it for a while and then are gonna stop doing it.
Wow.
Did
Farmville.
you
Facebook
ever
will
play Farmville?
like 2 days.
Okay, yeah. I don't
Oh.
think I ever downloaded it.
Yeah. Facebook will no longer support Flash games, so it's not a great surprise. So instantly, just reading, I'm not even going to read the rest of it yet. Just reading the main topic and then the subtopic, whatever you want to call that headline.
Yeah.
So everyone knows Flash is going away at this point, at the end of the year. I think it's like January 22nd or something like funky like that. I wonder if they're just going to make another Farmville in HTML5 or some other JavaScript type variant otherwise.
Pretty much nailed it ish.
Right? I did.
Yeah.
The Flash version's going away, and so they're just going to have another Farmville.
Yep. The development company Zynga says a mobile version of Farmville 3 will be available worldwide soon.
Great.
But if you want to continue playing Farmville, you're in luck because Farmville players will be able to continue making in-app purchases until November 17th. So you can continue paying money even though it'll be shut down at the end of December.
So I wonder what this does to like the human psyche, because like if you invest this much, like if you played it from the beginning, which I highly doubt that you played it for 11 years, but if you did play it, right? Was it 2009? Yeah, launched in 2009. If you play for like 11 years or even like 3 years into a game and you invested that much time and they're like, and then we're gonna like take the server down and you cannot have the save, you can never play it, you can never look at it, you can't wait 10 years and then reload it for a nostalgia boost. It's all gone forever and no one will ever be able to see anything about it ever again. I wonder if they have to, like, the amount of users that won't come back due to it, like they're hardcore users due to like a depression cycle, or if they're going to be able to like somehow, there's no way they're going to migrate data. There's not a chance. Say your farm carries over. Because like I feel that way sometimes when I reset the Minecraft worlds or really any game. It's like all of that is gone forever, and I wasted my entire life having fun.
Yeah, I actually considered that too, and I definitely have experienced that when I'm playing a game such as Farmville. I haven't actually played Farmville, but when I play a game like that, I end up just playing it just to get the next level. You know, you're just playing to get the next level, the next achievement, the next thing. You're not really, at a certain point, you're not really playing it to have fun. At that point, you're kind of addicted to it. You know what I mean? So you're playing Farmville. Even if you're not really playing it for fun, you're just trying to get the next level, And recently, recently I haven't been playing mini games, but the one game I do play has no unlockable content, no nothing. When you get the game, you immediately have all the content. And you only play it for fun. There's not even any global statistics or anything.
Really? That's really cool. That's one of the things I liked about Minecraft too, was even like, I mean, clearly there's goals. There's survive the night, which is like a goal. I mean, it's very broad, but you still have to survive. Like, you can't die. And then there's like, get to the nether, and then get to the end, and then beat the end dragon. And then it's like, create a storage system, and like, there's these goals. They're not really, but everyone does them because it's survival. Like, that's what you do.
You pretty much have to do them,
But then, like, you know, at this point, I create a new Minecraft world every 3 months, it feels like. And even though it kind of feels the same, I don't know, the replayability of Minecraft is outstanding. That's one reason I like that game in particular. But then, like, recently, I put, you might have even seen it. I don't know if Facebook notifies you. I've been playing Plants vs. Zombies on Facebook games because it's great to play, like, during lunch at work or something, so I can eat with one hand and fight zombies with plants on the other hand. But it's one of those things that I play one level a day, and like the strategy at this point, like I feel like I found the weak part of the game. So it's just almost the same strategy, but it's something to do while eating. It makes me eat slower, which is like a terrible thing. But then it's the same kind of grind. It's just like, beat the level, lunch is over, time for work.
And then also games like Minecraft, if you play on a community server, then
it's not about the game.
It's about playing with your friends too, and the game that I play is the same in that regard too. You know, you play on the community server with the same people however often you play it, and
Yeah.
have just your goal is just to have fun and hang out with your friends, really, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I avoid games like RuneScape, or I don't know what other games are out there. I never play them.
So the one good side about the RuneScape, though, and WoW also has a little bit of it, is that it could be like it's supposed to be, I guess, competitive, and like you're supposed to fight.
Yeah.
But then there is like the story dungeon crawl, where you and your group go through and fight, whatever. Yeah. And that's pretty fun. But then that's the same thing. You're changing the focus of the game from the game to team building, I guess is the word.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
But changing how you game is a pretty good segue.
Yes.
To which cloud gaming service is best for you? None of them. Don't cloud game. I will be against this for a long time. I will be for it eventually because there's not going to be an option.
So this article from over at the Tech Radar mentions a few different gaming services. They've got Project xCloud, which is Microsoft's new one that's coming out soon. They've got PlayStation Now, NVIDIA GeForce Now, Google Stadia, which we've talked about a fair bit, something called Vortex, which I hadn't heard of, Shadow Boost, which I also haven't heard of. And this article kind of compares them a little bit and mentions some reasons why you might choose one over the other. So starting off with Project xCloud, if you're an Xbox player, then you might be interested in xCloud because Microsoft owns Xbox,
Right.
Microsoft owns xCloud, so you'll have access to a lot of Xbox games that you can play on your tablet, Android phone.
Yeah.
I'm assuming like a PC or whatever it is. So if you're into Xbox, might check out that. If you're into PlayStation Now, pretty straightforward. They've got over 800 new and old games from the PlayStation library on your PS4 or PC.
That's really aggravating. That if it can be for your PS4 or PC, the fact that it's cross-platform enough that you can choose between PS4 and PC means that there's no reason a game should be a PS4 exclusive forever. They could port it to PC.
True, in terms of, I guess, the code in the game and everything. This does say that it says you need to connect a PlayStation compatible controller to a computer and install the PlayStation Now app. Now, do you really need to connect the controller? I don't know.
You can connect the controller and then you can map the buttons to a keyboard.
To your keyboard? Yeah, probably so.
If you're a computer guy, you can figure that one out.
And then we've got GeForce Now.
They've been around, I think, the longest out of all of them.
And this supports some Steam games, Origin games. And it's also got a free tier. You can play for 1 hour each session for free.
Wow. Yeah, their beta launched in 2015. But they launched to the public in February of this year. So it's still new, but they've been working on it for 5 years in a beta.
Then we've got Stadia, which it looks like you have to pay for some games, but some games are included for free. And also, we've read a few articles over the past year that said that Google Stadia doesn't have a ton of selection of games. So
not yet.
Yeah.
It'll always grow. Hopefully they monitor their growth, though, and like it's a Google lets in kind of deal and not like a YouTube ordeal where it's just like games.
Yeah.
600 games a minute are added to their library.
Yeah. And then you have to filter through which ones are actually worth playing.
Vortex.
Vortex. Eh,
Never heard of it. So
never heard of it. Access to 160 games. Shadow Boost, also never heard of it. It says it's good for people with lower internet speeds. And it also, you can do gaming, work, and file storage on it.
oh,
So
it's almost more
it's
like a
almost-
remote computer.
yeah, it's almost like a remote PC rather than just for gaming. And then this article from TechRadar also has prices. It seems like everything comes out to about $9 or $10 a month, which isn't bad. But if you have your own PC, obviously, stick with that for now.
Yeah, definitely. This article, I feel like I'm gonna have so much to say once you explain it to me.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a neat thing, maybe, but I don't know how practical it's gonna be. So this is from over at CNBC. Amazon's newest Ring device is a flying security camera drone.
So my biggest question, does it fly inside or outside for security?
Inside.
Okay. That takes away a
Yeah.
lot of the problems.
Yeah, and supposedly it reacts to alerts or alarms or whatever. I guess to
Oh.
get another camera view. If, say, your window alarm sends out an alert saying that it was opened, the camera can fly over there and look at it. But I think for a small device like this, you can see the
It's
image there at the
tiny.
bottom of your screen. Yeah, it's pretty small, and it's pretty cheap, or it's gonna be cheap. I think it says it's coming out in 2021 at about $250. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they can actually make this thing fly reliably and autonomously, flying by itself, not you controlling it, for that low price point and that small size.
So, being the professional flyer that I am, which is a
Yeah.
total joke for people who don't understand. I am
Yeah.
terrible at flying drones. Do not trust me to fly a drone in your house. Yet.
This is a small one.
Right? Is in the video it shows, I'm actually gonna pop it right back to it. It shows here, so he's just looking at the phone, and
Mhm.
it looks like the drone's flying by itself, like he's not controlling it in any way.
Yeah.
So that I think solves one problem in and of itself. Is like
Yes.
because you could say like, oh well, the drone can just fly at like 6 feet, because
Mhm.
at 6 feet's head height, and the chance of you hitting anything in your house at head height is pretty low.
Yeah.
But if you have 2 stories, when does it know where the stories are? You could program it, but then now you're getting a smart drone, and that's gonna not be as cheap for R&D.
Yeah.
One thing I'm curious on is if there is a way to, with like the other smart devices, or if there's some type of like QR code that you stick like on the ceiling or something, and you like program it. So you like, all right, go to like living room spot 1, or living room spot 2, and dining room spot 1, dining room spot 2, and it will fly to that one, knowing it's almost like a Roomba, where it would just fly and learn the house,
Yeah.
and then you're like, all right, here's a spot.
Because it will have to know where these alarms and alerts are for it to actually go over to them and video them. So you'll
Yeah.
have to do, surely you'll have to do some kind of programming, unless it uses some kind of proximity
Okay.
sensor.
Because like, see, she doesn't touch it with anything. It says live view on top. So I'm curious if there's like a menu and you're like, fly here or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, like some sensor on the roof, because the floor wouldn't make sense because it would wear and such.
Mm-hmm.
But almost anyone could stick like some type of like little thumbtack or something in their ceiling. I don't think people would get that pissed if they're having this type of technology in their house. Like, but it'd be super interesting to see how it flies,
Yeah.
because it says live view and they're not controlling it.
Mm-hmm.
This could also just be a commercial, so like.
Yeah.
Because I could see the controls being super simple. So you're just like land, take off,
Hmm.
and then there's just like forward and turns. So you get
Yeah.
forward, turn right, and it turns right like 10 degrees or something. And it's like forward. Because then
Yeah.
anyone can get it. But when you start getting like real drone controls, that is some hard stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And then as soon as you install a chandelier in your house, you're
Right?
done.
That's the thing that made me interested about multi-story because like
Yeah.
I live on a split level, so
Mhm.
there are windows at two different heights because there's a couple stairs in between them,
Yeah.
and so people could break in through either set of windows, but
Mhm.
one set's 12 feet higher than the other set, so the drone would have to at some point where the stairs are
Yeah.
lower itself,
Mhm.
and having the drone know to do that
Mhm.
would be an interesting thing. It could also be completely Bluetooth controlled by all the Alexa devices. That doesn't explain how it can tell where walls are. That's going to be a whole other smart AI thing.
Yeah. It seems like a big accomplishment to do for a $250 price point for a small drone like that. But
Yeah.
if they do it, that would be pretty cool. Be interesting to follow.
Yeah. I'd definitely like to see the rest of it. Just
Yeah.
it being able to fly around without you having controls on your phone. But I fear that's just an ad. And there's going to be controls.
Yeah. Bringing up our final article.
I read this one in such detail. It's going to be super interesting.
Google Maps is getting a UI for driving, and it looks like a lot like Android Auto. I
So,
haven't actually used Android Auto,
neither have I. I feel like I should.
but yeah, it makes sense to use in your car, right? But from some of the screenshots you can see, it looks like big buttons, so easy to hit when
Thank
you're
you.
riding in a vehicle. And it also has some built-in controls for things like controlling music, uh, and maybe that's just it, actually.
So I don't know if you know what this means. On this top picture, the top picture here, uh, it says there's some type of symbol and it's patterns, and then the subtext is levy. But then there's a play and a skip 30 seconds. Is that just a song? You think? The
Uh,
7 minutes.
I don't know. Let me look it
Yeah.
up.
That's an interesting layout. But then yeah, it looks like it all has much bigger buttons. Which thank you.
Yes, I do think that's a song,
Okay.
according to Shazam. It popped up on Shazam, so.
All right. Cool. That's nice to be able to split your screen up easier.
Yeah.
I do like in my car though. I do have the skip and back buttons on my steering wheel, and it works for the phone. So when I'm playing music on my phone, in the that go to the car speakers, I hit next on the steering wheel, and it'll skip that song for me. So then there's not even having to like pull my phone out of my pocket or anything.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I can't do that with my phone. Supposedly my car sports Bluetooth, but I've never actually really tried to connect my phone via Bluetooth.
It's pretty great. So like, as long as Bluetooth is on, so like when I close up and I start to go home, I'll just turn Bluetooth on my phone, and then I can stick it back in my pocket. As soon as I get in the car, it takes about a minute for it to turn on. So like I'm already pulled out of the parking lot and I'm driving down the road at that point.
Okay.
And then the Bluetooth connects and the music starts wherever it left off before.
That's
Because
nice.
it's just Spotify. So Spotify saw it as the disconnect, so Spotify stops playing. And then when it reconnects, it will start playing again.
Cool.
And it's pretty convenient. It is some high life living, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's great to see bigger buttons because that was definitely a complaint as I get old, apparently. That I really like the bigger buttons. Oh no. That's unfortunate.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Let's see. That's super not great. There you are. Can we pop it out? How did this happen?
I don't know. It says the stream has ended. Cricket noises from me.
There you go. There we go. All right. So I did a big mistake, but I think we're at the end of the stream now, so I can just tell you the mistake right as soon as we quit.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently my graphics driver just updated or something. All my screens went black, and then my ears went doo 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 doo, and then all my screens came back, and all my windows are all over the place.
Oh man.
I'm not even gonna open anything because I'm afraid that OBS is showing something wrong. But OBS still says 41 minutes, so there's no cut, right? Yeah, I'll tell you what happened as soon as we end because that's bad. Cool. I think that's the end of the stream, anyways.
Yep, that was our last article. So y'all have a good week, and we'll talk about it next week.
We're talking about all the things next week. All my screens went black, and then my ears went doo 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 doo, and then all my screens came back, and all my windows are all over the place.
Oh man.
I'm not even gonna open anything because I'm afraid that OBS is showing something wrong. But OBS still says 41 minutes, so there's no cut, right? Yeah, I'll tell you what happened as soon as we end because that's bad. Cool. I think that's the end of the stream, anyways.
Yep, that was our last article. So y'all have a good week, and we'll talk about it next week.
We're talking about all the things next week.